back here doing a grocery haul. I haven't done this for a while, so I'm going to go through it with a little more detail than normal, but I just want you to know this first part is the Walmart items that I got. The second part, oh, that's still Walmart. I should move those over closer. And this will be the natural food store that we have in the middle here, and the Costco items on the far end here. Let's start with the spring greens, a mixture of organic, so no pesticides, wide variety of greens, including some kale and sometimes Swiss chard, different types of cruciferous vegetables. There's usually a number of different greens in here. In fact, when you start reading this label, there's usually 10 or 11 different types of greens that you can find in this item. Whether you get it at Walmart or Costco or some other local grocery store, you can find it. And it's great for chopping up, of course, for salads, but also chopping up and putting in the bottom of bowls of soup or stew to really add some nice nutrient value to that dish. You just put it in at the end of the cooking time, maybe the last minute or so, enough to warm it through and bring out that color and the vibrant nutrients that are in that spring green mixture. Mushrooms, I buy organic, but apparently they say because they're not grown with pesticides, it is okay to buy non-organic mushrooms. Mushrooms of all types have all kinds of nutrient value, and all of them are slightly different, so it's good to rotate different mushrooms around in your diet. This is my sugar snap peas. In the winter, I have to be really careful. They tend to want to go moldy really fast, so I like to eat them really soon. Most of the time, I eat them on the way home from the grocery store because they're a great snack, great for dipping. Here's some cranberries. I started to use some of these, but these are cranberries, organic, and you'll see these in the store right now. Whether they're organic or not, cranberries are great for your health, especially for helping to fight cancers and tumors. They are one of the best out there for that. That's just what the research is showing us. I use a lot around the holidays and then I freeze the rest. You can't get them the rest of the year very easily like this. And I can take them out of the freezer and chop them and use them in smoothies. I put them in stuffing recently. They're wonderful. Organic radishes. Radishes are a cruciferous vegetable. We know that we need at least one cruciferous vegetable a day. And if you're getting some kale in your greens or Swiss chard, and you're getting some radishes a little bit here, cabbages, kale, that's what's in these different salad packs that I buy. My husband loves them. They have a wide variety of usually cabbage, green leaf lettuce, they might have kale, both red and green cabbage, and sometimes some onions, sometimes some cranberries in there, Brussels sprouts, I see carrots. So lots of variety. I use them. Sometimes we split this salad. I don't have the dressing or the croutons on mine, but this is such a great way to start if you have a family that's not used to doing whole foods, plant-based foods. These salads are a great mixture to start with. And then you can start, experimenting with adding beans to them to make it a whole protein and a much heartier meal. You can add grains. I like to add them to my chili at the end of the cooking time. Again, just to warm it through and get a nice variety of those vegetables in your meal really easily. It's already chopped up, already ready to go. And just having them in the meal adds great nutrient value to whatever soup or stew you put them in. But also, if you allow them to heat through about a minute, it'll bring out the color and bring out the nutrients so they're easier for your body to absorb. I sometimes get this super blend from Sun Foods Golden Milk from Walmart. If I can't find it in my Walmart, I get it from Costco, which is where I got it this time. This is similar to what I talk about using soy milk for the phytonutrients and then adding this super blend to it. You can make your own super blend though, and I do all the time. It consists primarily of turmeric and pepper to help you absorb the turmeric, but then it also has cinnamon, cardamom. You can add cloves or nutmeg, but very small amounts. Those are really strong. And maybe some ginger. This particular blend has a couple other things that are excellent in it, and that's why I like it. It's already made for you, but the ingredients are turmeric, maca, goji berry. Those are the extra ones, maca, goji berry. Oh, a little stevia, boswellia, guar gum. So really similar to what I make, you know, from scratch, but sometimes it's just great to have in a pinch. Put about a teaspoon in a cup of soy milk every day. That helps you get that soy milk for the phytonutrients that are so good for hormone balance. And it's such a great mixture as an anti-inflammatory blend. So that's why I really strongly recommend doing a golden milk mixture with soy milk every day if you can get that in. The soy that I buy and that I recommend and that now is out of stock so many times when I go to the grocery store because I've recommended it to everybody, but I buy Westlife. It used to be called West Soy. It is only soybean. It's unsweetened. If you want to put a little vanilla or a little sweetener in it, once you get it home, at least you know how much you're putting in and using. But I really strongly recommend at least 2 servings a day when you're trying to balance your hormones. Then we're going to go to our beans. I generally don't like necessarily to buy beans in these cans, but sometimes you have to bite the bullet because you're in a hurry. Beans are too good to pass up. So these are organic. The reason I don't care for them in cans, unless it says BPA-free can, which is what I get from Costco when I buy their black beans. But these cans are not BPA free. And what we find though is that we end up with that BPA in our systems, and that is actually what we call an endocrine disruptor. It's the lining of the inside of the cans, and it disrupts hormones. It can lead to hormone imbalances in both men and women. You can get them in plastics, you get them everywhere. So that's the other reason for the soy milk. It's just a really nice, easy, natural way to balance hormones is to consider the soy. It can be milk, beans, tofu, any of those things. Consider 2 servings a day. Let's go to our health food store. Ours is called Real Food Market and Deli. I didn't buy a lot there this week because I just still have a lot in reserve, but I did need some chickpea flour. Chickpea is one of the great things that we're working with my father right now who has cancer, because chickpeas have been shown to stop cancer growth. So chickpeas have something wonderful in them that helps with that. Chickpeas can be used to make tortillas. They can thicken soups and stews as this flour. I use this flour quite a bit when I'm making whole wheat breads and anything that I might make that maybe I don't want a lot of gluten. Although I am eating gluten a little bit more these days and not finding any problems with it, I am eating it in the form of wheat germ, which is the other thing I got here. Wheat germ has spermidine, so does mango. Spermidine is a compound that's been shown to increase your lifespan. So the 2 probably healthiest places to get good sources of spermidine would be wheat germ and mangoes, but beans and lentils are also a great place to get it. These are the bulk seasonings that I got. I like to buy them in bulk because it's a whole lot less expensive. That's all there is to it. These are organic. I buy small amounts so that I can then put them in my empty spice jars, and then we can make different spice mixtures. Let me see what I have there. I have organic basil, paprika, garlic, onion. By the way, with garlic can be just as beneficial in powdered form as it is in whole garlic. So don't hesitate to use the garlic powder. Onion powder probably has a lot of the same benefits because garlic and onions just do. Here's some sage, here's some thyme that I was out of, so I'm gonna fill those jars. This is my spice drawer. I used to not use spices at all. It's only been in recent years that not only am I learning how to use them a little bit at a time, but I'm also learning how much benefit they have for our health. And even just a quarter teaspoon of herbs a day packs such a concentrated amount of nutrient-dense food into such a small volume, like a quarter teaspoon. That's nothing. But I do make mixtures. This is Italian seasoning. It's a mixture of probably 5 different spices, plus a tiny bit of cayenne because I like the zip to it. It's a little bit spicy. And this is cloves. I forgot to label it. Poultry seasoning is out, so I'll be refilling that, making the mixture and filling that for poultry seasoning. I make my own taco seasoning. I really like to tape the recipe to the jar if I can, because it makes it so much easier than having to go look everything up again each time, especially if you get a mixture that you really appreciate. Here's a pumpkin pie spice, again, almost out. I use that on my oatmeal every morning. Here is Italian seasoning. I guess I have a jar for that too. But I made a lot. I'm not sure that it fits in that jar. And then two of my favorite seasonings are from nutritionfacts.org, and they are a mixture of probably 8 to 10 seasonings that I draw from all of these things. But one is called the Savory Spice Seasoning, and the other is called the Super Spice Blend or something like that. Anyway, he's got 2 spices on his website, nutritionfacts.org, under recipes. And those spices, as a mixture, once I make them, they go into soups and stews, and I use them actually. I might use a little bit of homemade vegetable broth in my soups and stews, but if I don't have any, that spice mixture can make that wonderful vegetable flavor for the broth that I need to use. I end up using water and the spice blend to make the broth for soups or stews. So it's a really convenient, easy way to get a large number of nutrient-dense herbs into your meals on a day-to-day basis. It's just very good that way. And lastly, at Costco, I didn't have to buy a lot, but I did go ahead and get the mango that I talked about. Mango, again, contains spermidine. That's one of the best parts of mango, although there's a lot of really good vitamin A in there. But mango contains spermidine. Spermidine helps you live longer, and you can get it in the form of fresh, frozen, or dried mango. And I like to buy it this way. It's organic. We just get a couple of the slices of that out each day. That's just a good way to get a daily dose of this phytonutrient that's so great for extending your lifespan. And I buy these organic sweet potato sticks. They contain only sweet potatoes that are not fried or salted or anything like that. They are steamed. And I know it says somewhere, don't cook them in the packet that they come in. I have a feeling you should not be microwaving them in that kind of a packet. In general, when we're microwaving, we don't want to use any kind of synthetic material on our food. If at all possible, we can use glass and stay away from the plastics in the microwave. And then I bought hummus. Now, this is kind of a splurge for me because it does contain chickpeas, water, organic sesame, tahini. That's tahini is sesame seeds. Organic sunflower oil. Now, generally, I don't use things that have seed oils. I prefer not to, but I do appreciate that it is organic, and generally it's going to be less processed. But like I say, this is a bit of a splurge for me. Again, it's made out of garbanzos, which are highly nutritious, and sometimes when I need something easy to carry that will give me some protein and fill up some empty spaces as a snack when I'm traveling, this is still a really good option. So most of the time I do recommend staying away from the seed oils, although in general, when it comes to seed butters, when it's just the seed butter that's mixed up, like peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, walnut butter, sunflower seed butter, sesame seed butter, tahini. All of those things can be really, really useful for avoiding processed oils and really getting some of those natural oils, because they really are just ground up. Sometimes they'll have a little salt in there, but it's a really good way to get those in your nut and seed butters. That's it for today. Take care, everybody. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share with somebody. If not, like it so that YouTube will share it. And we'll see you in the next video.